If partnership would do me a favor, and the most sensitive term, but depends on the area that you work, is a term called Beatnick. Beatnick. It means different things to different people. It is not always the same, but it is the most important confidential informant for your area, for your leadership to collect, because it is the how are we doing in one group, and did we miss anything, or is there any breakage that we need to look over? It's kind of a diagnostic code within itself, but not one that is. You have an assigned term. Everybody has an assigned term to that one meaning, depending on where they work, and then they put it in as to what it meant for whoever informed them of it, and whatever. So here's the thing. Nick is in the field. She feels beat up. She's in a uniform that's sending off. I think they silenced the alarms because they were afraid so many viral codes were being sent off because they've gone so long without fixing they've tuned me up into a sickening, overaged genetic in the wrong scenery. And it's sending off silent alarms. And everybody's just pretending like they don't exist, or working around them in a counter-intuitive, manner of some sort. And, they just keep going, as if this is acceptable. Here's what I know in North America that I've heard thus far. A beatnik is in my father, in Louis Cataruzza's generation. The beatnik would be somebody living in the woods, who another name is a hippie, hippie, where they smoke weed and they play songs and they live in commune. They call it off the grid. Naturalists, I suppose you could say. Okay. But they're very useful because if you need to explain something, they are quiet people. They don't like to be disturbed. And they're very useful in able to think outside of the norm because they have quietness about them, which I appreciate. But now in America, to Mr. who came to visit me in the penthouse in Manhattan when I was there for Maria's birthday, with the vintage bling and the green uniform, they look down and speak very poorly of the beatnik. For my instance, it's going to be a white beatnik because I know they come in all colors, but I will stay congruent because if I've met one white beatnik, there's got to be other colors elsewhere. They might call them different things. But again, everybody serves a purpose in the world. It's just a matter of understanding where you need to go for what, and how to seek them out. But they're also they don't like strangers and they don't like to be bothered or talked to unless, they say only if it's important. But, so that's one thing. And they have, in Mr. Green Uniform's day and age and era and understanding, so I've actually physically heard, they call them all sorts of not nice names, and almost make them they're not as good. They're not as whatever. There's a disparaging manner somewhere in there. Again, I don't get caught in the middle of that stuff. I'm just I got stuff I need done and whatever. I'm not getting in the middle of a cat fight between nobody matters and nobody matters and nobody cares. So let's think about this. So that's that on the and then the religious people get confused and then they get angry because for them that sounds like they're masters, like they're spiritual like leaders that they go to somewhere in the world. Doesn't exist in New York, that's for sure. But like, I mean, if you live in the mountains somewhere and you have like bells and like a Tai Chi is a mastery science that you perform in, you lucky person you. Right, I'm in Horse City. It does not exist unless you pay for it. And I don't have any source of income, so that's a problem. So anyway, so there's that. It's, again, it's all how you look at things and where your area of expertise is and what you're being called upon or relied upon in order to run things. I personally think that somebody who goes to the penthouse with a marble floor, and that's what they're used to, and they've never spent a night in a dirt lodge anywhere in the world, and certainly wouldn't purposely seek that out for a different point of view because they're happy with bubble baths and whatever, and they're not up to change. They're not they're not fit for leadership of any kind. I can't rely on a person like that. I just can't. They're untrustworthy and they're unreliable in